Welcome everybody to episode 10 of the Hot Drop. Another special one, as it was the first live one we did. So it was live on Twitch, me, EB, and James. It was a whole lot of fun. Probably could have announced it a little bit more. Probably could have let you guys know earlier that it was coming, but it's been some busy weeks for me personally, so you're gonna have to forgive me on that. I'm gonna make this 2 parts again because it's simply just we spoke for 2.5 hours almost, so I cut it down to 2 1-hour videos roughly. The first one's gonna be about what happened in the PGS2 qualifiers, what happened in the rotation. We're gonna talk a whole lot about the WU, Acend, FaZe Clan, sort of from the inside. Pretty interesting perspectives, I would say. And then the second part is gonna be about PGS2 and about Nations Cup. So don't miss out on that. Stay subscribed to make sure you catch the second part. And for now, enjoy the video. Okay, so the main topics I wanted to talk about was PGS2, obviously, PNC, PGS2 qualifiers, and then whatever comes to mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should we just talk about PGS2 qualifiers first?
Yeah, we can talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Where do we
start with
start?
the best.
What is your
Where do we
summary, EV, of PGS2 qualifiers?
Ooh, my summary of
Mhm.
of just in general or just the team situation?
I'd say, like, how did it go for you, and why is Quizzy out? That's the 2 things that I want to know.
So, how did it go for me? I don't know.
I mean, you as a
But
team as well, sort of.
Yeah, so yeah, we came kind of in the tournament. It started. It was like we practiced some things. I don't know. It was just a shit show. We were just not on the same page. Like, in my opinion, the calling, like,
Yeah.
it was just not how I wanted to be, and I don't know. It was just everyone was kind of lost. I feel like everyone was lost. Every time when we get in the finals, people are lost. I guess people are nervous. Like, yeah, just being lost, like not being on the same page at all. And I guess that's the reason why Quizzy left as well. Like, we had a talk after, like 3 or 4 days after, and we just came to the conclusion that, like, I don't know, it just didn't work. And Quizzy was also like, yeah, it just didn't work pretty much, like the calling, like the whole vibe, the synergy, everything. It just wasn't there. So I think Quizzy's gonna like try out for some CIS teams right now. I also think that he wants to play like with Russian like teammates again and stuff, what makes fully sense. Like, if you look at the amount of talent too, right, that is there,
Yeah.
like so yeah. And I'm gonna pretty much take over the calling right now with Keanu. Keanu's kind of gonna be second caller. I'm gonna be main caller. And I don't know, we're gonna try it from here. We're having some tryouts right now already. We tried out Siler so far, Sauce D. We're maybe gonna have like 1 more tryout or 2. So yeah, that's kind of the team situation right now.
How is Sauce's English?
I don't know. It's like it's very basic. Maybe some people will have struggles with it. For me, it's not really a problem, to be honest, because he speaks pretty clear, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And he's young, so I know that we're just gonna like play a lot together the next 2 months. If, let's say, we pick him, and we're just gonna like, yeah, I feel like it's gonna be easy. Like, English, like, he has the basic, and he's like, I played a couple times ranked with him already. It's getting better and better, so I don't think it's a problem at all.
Yeah.
And besides that, there's not that many players to choose from. Like, if you just look at the people that like speak good English, you know what I mean? Like, there is not that many players to choose from right now. There's maybe 3, like, I don't know. I would say Silers, and then what would fit our team, what we kind of need.
It's
I don't
hard.
know.
It's
I
hard.
mean, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to find someone where you feel like it's an improvement, right? Like, even if you're picking up Silas, like, he's a cracked individual, right? But then,
Yeah.
From the outside, I would say you lose a lot of like strategy and like calling and everything. You have to balance that out somewhere.
I mean, that is the thing, right? Because when we were playing with Quizzy, it was kind of like me and Quizzy talking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had Keanu in the team. And Keanu, we kind of told him like to like not say too much. But now that Quizzy is gone, Keanu has like, he's going to be the one speaking up more. And I mean, Nixie always kind of like speaks up as well. So we don't necessarily need like a fourth guy that is going to talk, you know what I mean? I will just make sure that I position this guy and that he's going to do his job, you know what I mean? Like I don't...
Yeah.
With the way I see the game as well, as if you're going to be in IGL, something I feel like we were lacking a little bit in the previous team is sometimes like there needs to be control, so everyone needs to be on the same page, you know what I mean? Like I'm going to tell Silers, okay, you're going to hold that, and then, you know what I mean? I don't believe that everyone can just like, you can learn all these lines and stuff, but I still feel like you need, like as IGL, you need to be saying like, okay, you're going to play here, you're going to watch this, so that everyone's on the same page. So like, I don't really see a problem with someone like him, you know, and he's Silers too. He never really played on like a tier 1 or like, you know, whatever. Like he always kind of played on tier 2, tier 3 teams. So like, I feel like I can teach this guy a lot. And if he respects me, what I think he does, it's gonna like, you know what I mean? He's gonna like...
You can micromanage and people can learn a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Sorry, this is kind of like a fucking interrogation, but I have a lot of questions that I want to know the answers to. Do you have to do that to Nixie? Or has he like learned enough where he's a little bit like self-sufficient?
Yeah, he learned a lot. Like there's like a lot of good points he has too. Like he's proactive and he's not the guy that's afraid to take space. I think we were a little bit that too with the way we approached the games in the finals again. Like we're just way too like, I don't know. It was just like we draw something on the map, we're gonna play here, and then people are not thinking anymore like, oh, we can take this or take this, because each game is different. Each game there's gonna be things open, and we just, with the way we played and followed the game, I don't know, I just feel like we were very hard stuck. And even in the upper bracket before that as well, I don't know, just something happened. Maybe it's because Keanu joined, the dynamic was different, maybe people were not as confident, or people made mistakes, there was irritations, blah blah blah. But yeah.
Makes sense.
I would say Nixie improved a lot, yeah, for sure. Like he is, like the way he sees the game and stuff, he's like, he still makes, yeah, I don't know, I feel like he grew a lot, so yeah.
When you and Quizzy were like calling kind of together, or like you were the two guys talking, who does the early game and who does like, I don't know, like anything, random calls and stuff?
Okay, so when things went pretty good, like who did the early game stuff? Yeah, like at one point it was me, because Quizzy thought it would be better, because then he could focus more on the mid/late game. But then because I called, everyone calls early different, right? Like I like to take this compound and this because of this. And then at one point, because I was calling early game, he felt like, because I played so different, he was getting a little bit lost because of that, you know what I mean? So then we started getting Quizzy fully on the IGL role again. And I do think that like Quizzy's mid and late game is better than mine, but I just feel like I think what he told me is that he's just going to be like a second caller. He's like the type of guy that's going to be a second caller. He's just way better at that. It's a little bit harder for him to take control. So yeah. Yeah.
And I really noticed with what from the outside, like looking at you guys, ever since you got together, was that I really felt that your scrims were played more ballsy and more like confident versus your like tournament games. So I always thought that like it has to be like pressure, or like you said, like someone being nervous maybe during the real games. So like those the same playstyle didn't really reflect in your tournaments as they did in scrims.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's definitely like, oh yeah, that's like for sure. That's the situation.
Yeah.
And I also feel like what I want is that like I want to have the same energy in scrims as in tournaments. So certain people were not always giving that same energy. It was more laid back in scrims. Like, I don't know, suddenly when we get into finals, the energy was just like I just want it to be the same, right? So that people know what to expect from a certain player. Like if you're a caller, if you're an IGL and you're gonna behave a little bit different in scrims than in finals, like certain days you're just more laid back, you're not calling as much. Like I just want it to be the same all the time, you know what I mean? That's hard, but I want like everyone to be like fully try hard and fully, you know what I mean? Like in scrims, and then that transfers over into tournament. But there was just too much energy. Like, I don't know, it was just sometimes a really weird dynamic. At the end, I also think that we didn't really I just didn't really fit that well.
Mhm.
So yeah, it can happen. We always made finals, but then in finals we choke.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was also a mix of playstyle. When I just joined, it was kind of my like when I just joined, like I started playing with Besto and Quizzy, for example. I came from Liquid, there was a lot more sending. They were very edge. So like I sometimes felt like when things were not really happening, let's send it, boys. That was like really early. That was like last year or something. So that's kind of why we threw the first finals. I was thinking a lot about deeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with the last finals, it was just, I don't know, it was just the calling. I feel like the calling, and then me making a mistake, then this player made a mistake, then the confidence was going down. It was just like you know?
Yeah.
It was
Typical
just like-
PUBG spiral of doom.
Yeah.
The confidence spiral is very real. And then you realize like your teammates aren't like fully there anymore, and then the mood is down, and then it's hard.
Yeah.
We have that a lot too. And it's like one of the hardest challenges for me, because it's like realizing that the mood is down is very easy. Doing anything against it is really fucking hard. Because if someone's like, oh, this guy is just trying to get us, you know, this guy is just trying to get us to be in a good mood again, it's really fucking hard to just get them in a good mood if they're down, you know?
Yeah, because people you don't want to fake it either, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
fake hype doesn't help anyone. That's the problem. It's like, it's really hard.
So you're fake.
I'm hella fake.
No, I mean it's really tough, yeah. If you have like 2 bad games and it's like the last day of the tournament or whatever, and you have 4 games left to play, and people like kind of looking at the leaderboard, you know, and you can just feel that it's more quiet.
Yeah.
Or something, then it's really hard when you're not there in person with your teammates to like
get the mood going. And
yeah, it's really tough. You have to either you have to be like a super funny guy or something, or you have to be like, yeah, you have to know how to hit like a really hard motivational speech or something.
And it's like, if that shit is fake, then it's just bad, right? If I'm like, let's go out and prove these guys, you know, fucking baseball coach in the locker room kind of speech, everybody's just gonna be sitting there like, please stop talking.
Yeah.
But that's where like as an IGL too, you have a big, like, if you as an IGL, right, you're an IGL of a team. If you're gonna be confident, if you're gonna like, even after 2 bad games, you're still gonna make these calls. Yo, you go here now, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like, let's make a play now. Like, often there's like a lot of IGL, there's not a lot of IGLs that are still gonna have that good energy, that are still gonna have that aggression, you know what I mean? Like,
it's also super interesting, because when you said like, oh, you guys were both kind of doing the calling, that can really go wrong when you don't perform. Because then you're always annoyed when the other guy makes a call, right? And the game falls apart, and then maybe like the other guy gets like is not confident in your calls anymore, whatever. But it's the same thing when you only have one IGL and he's like micromanaging everyone. Then there's so much on his shoulders when the mood is like down, when the comms are a little quieter than usual and shit. There's so much on that guy's shoulders, and it's just both of the systems are really, really hard sometimes, I feel like. And it's really easy when everything goes well and everyone's like balling, right? Everyone's fragging, everyone's rolling through the lobby, like playing good games. But then when shit gets tough, it's really hard.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I like though is I feel like people were never really tilted. So like, even, I mean, people were tilted, but not on each other. You know what I mean? That they keep it for the next game. They just knew how to reset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one thing that I kind of liked. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's just hard.
PUBG's hard. I feel like, especially, and then you're playing PGS2 qualifiers, and you're waiting an hour between every game if you die early, because for some reason the breaks were just fucking insane.
Yeah,
and you have one bad game, and you know that you should have gotten 15 points out of that game, and you got 2, and then you have to sit there for 50 minutes waiting for the next game. It is so shit.
It's laughable.
It's so shit.
Like, I hate it.
And then they tell you, we're starting at 21:40, and at 21:45 they say 5-minute break, and then at 22 they say additional 10-minute break, and you're just sitting there like.
And then the game starts and they say remake.
bro.
And then it's a milli game, and then it's a milli game, and then it's a milli game, and then it's a milli game.
Oh yeah, that gets the mood right back up. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. We had this, what was it again? Was it upper bracket or? Yeah, it was upper bracket. First 2 games were milli. I mean, milli are not really a pro. Like, it's still like it's nice nowadays because people don't bridge camp and stuff. But like, it was, I don't know, it was just 2 annoying milli games or something. And then the 3rd game, you know what I mean? Finally, we're playing again. And then we had like Quizzy just crashed, like his whole PC just blue screened or something, you know what I mean? So like, we just lost, like there was no way going back. I think people were way too frustrated from that full day, all the waiting, you know what I mean? All that bullshit.
Yeah.
But definitely, their waiting is really annoying. I really dislike that. That's what I like more about GOL. I feel like they were just like boom, 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 vamos, you know?
I think, yeah. I think because people are already asking why. There's 2 things. There was massive tech issues, right? Like their internet was shit. It's like one company from Shanghai doing every single regional qualifier, and they're just observing with 150 ping or something, and they had like internet issues. But also, like you go and ask for shorter breaks, and then the PUBG people say, I feel like this feels pretty good for the flow of the broadcast right now. So they just like longer breaks for some reason. I don't know why. Because I feel like most viewers are really just there for the gameplay, right? So you'd want to have the breaks as short as you can, but for some reason PUBG is pretty happy with longer breaks.
And it's not like there's good content too. Like there's not really a lot of content. Like for example, I watched
there was
CS:GO
0
again,
content
right?
in this last tournament, by the way. There was no interviews, no like nothing. And then there was these fucking top 5 plays where they put the wrong player name on a play, or they spelled a name wrong. Or like
Mexi, like MEXY.
Yeah, they had a Mexi highlight, and they spelled his name wrong, and there was like a fly cam of like 1 kill or something. It was rough, honestly.
I missed that, by the way. I just saw it somewhere in the Discord. I didn't really understand it, but now I get it. Like
they had a play. It was top 1 play of the day. Yeah, it was Klim from Afterworld, and they showed Phil first getting 2 kills with nades. It was the top 1 play. They put the wrong name on it, and it was not a top play at all. And I was like, okay, like you're literally just slapping some shit in there to put a tick there and tell PUBG, yeah, we did it. Please pay us.
Yeah, and they're like obviously what they're trying to do, right, is like they're saving money, right? Like with the But like once you go this hard down as well, and then all these things, like, dude, the observing, right? Was it the last day or something? I don't know in general how often it was because it was so laggy, right? Because you sat there from Shanghai. I saw one of the games. I was like, holy shit.
It was unwatchable. Yeah, that's why they had these long breaks, because they tried to fix it, but they just kind of couldn't.
No, you can't. It's a ping issue, no?
Yeah. I mean, it must have been something else because it was fine on the other days.
Oh.
It looked like their studio just had massive internet issues. So like all the PCs in there had like packet loss and shit.
And why are they giving it out constantly to other companies instead of being esports, do it all right now for the rest of the year? You know what I mean? Is that the reason because they're not available, or is that the reason
they got
because
a massive package deal? Like VSPO, the company that did every like regional qualifier, right? They probably went to them and they said, we'll do it all for X amount of money. And they were like, fuck yeah. And then VSPO used the same graphics, they used the same observers, they used the same, like, everything. Same social media, blah, blah, blah. And they do everything. And PUBG is like, holy shit, that's so cheap.
What was the saying again, James? What was the saying again? We always said cheap is not always good or something? Shit, it was different, no?
Yeah, it was different for sure.
But it came down to that, dude. It was something with that. Like, that's definitely the case right now with this whole, like...
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't remember the saying, but it was a little bit different.
I think the thing that's the worst for me. So one thing that's really bad is, or like where they're saving money and it really sucks, is they have no analyst desk, but then they have long breaks. So there's 2 casters, but they're also on the analyst desk. So they have basically no break, right? And they have no time to make up anything interesting in their head. Nothing at all. They just have Martin there, who was host for, I think, 1 day, or I don't know if Kalauers was there for a day and stuff, who comes up with questions, and then the casters have no, like, time to make up anything cool. They just have to sit there and talk to the host. Yeah. So that's shit for the casters, because no breaks, no time to reset your brain. It's shit for the viewers, because there's nothing interesting in the breaks. But it saves you like one extra person, right? You have to pay. You don't have to pay an analyst if your casters are the analyst. That really sucks, in my opinion. And then what also really sucks is that we just have bad observing again. Like, I was watching some of the games and I was getting really tilted because they had just missed like almost everything in some games.
How are they still not? How do they? It's basic. How, as an observer in any type of game,
because these are
when
new
it's a
people.
4v1. Oh yeah, true. But like, there's still one guy that leads it, no?
Yeah.
That has some kind of experience. If it's a 4v1 in CS:GO or whatever, you always watch the solo.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of times they don't watch the solo, it tilts me so hard.
Pretty
Like, that
easy,
is
really,
very
yeah.
basic.
And then if you observe like 5 games of PUBG, you realize, okay, X-ray on is kind of shit when people are coming out of smokes, because it looks completely different for the player than it looks for the viewer, right? That takes you 2 to 3 games to realize. And then you should be smart enough to turn the X-ray off when somebody's fighting around the smoke. But after like 6 years of PUBG esports, I still constantly see people getting kills, and the viewers are like, question mark, question mark, question mark, you know? Like, because for the viewers, it looks like someone's getting smoke spammed or something, but he just sees everything, or the other way around. And it's like, there's so much basic stuff that's really, really easy to fix. But PUBG just doesn't want to spend money on observing. They just want to get the cheapest production crew, and they'll bring their own observers, and that's it.
It sucks, because last year Starladder, or whatever, the year before, I can't even remember anymore, Starladder was getting better with the observing finally, right?
They were getting pretty solid, honestly.
Yeah,
Starladder, when they started out, was fucking garbage. When they were doing like contenders and PEL and stuff, they were really, really bad. And now they were really solid at the end.
Dude, I walked past one of the observer rooms where you're not allowed to walk past at PEL. And I just saw into the observer room some guys just sitting in there playing World of Warcraft on the PC.
Oh yeah, I remember that room, yeah. I remember that room.
Bro, I remember they had... Oh, this is like 3 years ago or something. There was... It wasn't NPL, it was like PCS3 or something, North America's. And during the live stream, you could hear a Valorant stream on one of the observers. Like, one of the observers literally had fucking a Valorant stream running on his observing PC. And every time that observer went live, you could hear that fucking stream. I was like, you have to be fucking joking me.
Yeah. Dude. That shit should get you fired. I wonder what happened to him.
That shit should get you fired. But the problem is, that shit doesn't get you fired, and being a good observer doesn't get you hired. So, you know, it's just, it's rough.
I want to talk more about the PGS2 calls, though. What happened to you guys?
We had a really good day 1, where we had some good zones, and we played really, really well throughout the zones, I think. We had a okay day 2, where we had really rough zones, and we played good, I think. And we massively mega choked day 3. Okay. Do you think that's because like you were thinking of PGS2 spot, or? I don't know what it is. I think we have a problem under pressure, but we didn't have any pressure. Right? Because, yeah, like second is fucking hard. It's pretty RNG to get top 2. We were in a really fucking good spot to get it anyways. And even if we get top 5, we're like going to PDC, so there isn't any real pressure. But you could still feel like the mood was down, people were quiet, people were like not as confident as usual.
Do you feel like people were like, because it was pretty smooth sailing so far, right?
The thing is, it wasn't. So day 1 was smooth sailing, right? But I mean,
before the tournament, like, did you guys feel prepared for this tournament, or did you feel like because you got second at what was it again, PGS1?
Yeah.
Because you guys did really good the previous one, that like people got a little bit more laid back before this tournament already, or?
I think we were really, really laid back before the rotation, and we kind of got the check for that. You know, we were shit in the rotation.
What did you guys get?
8th, I think.
Oh, I forgot about the rotation in between.
we were like still 2 points away from 5th or something, but we played a shit tournament, and we know that. And it feels like we played a shit PGS2 qualifier. Like, it doesn't feel like 8th, because 8th is like pretty average, right? But we just know that we can be way better. But we felt we didn't really. I don't think we really prepared for the rotation, and we really sucked. And then I think we felt pretty good for this tournament, and especially after day 1, we felt pretty good. Day 2, I think, honestly, if you look at the games, day 2 we had rough zones, and we still played, like, we still got 35 points. That was completely fine.
Yeah.
But then on day 3, we just crumbled, and we were really, I think we were really bad on day 3.
How many points did you get on day 3?
14.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
It's like one of these Pell days.
That is
where it's
bad.
Like,
that is
well, I
bad.
remember.
And yeah, I don't know. We've done some things to try and fix it, and we'll see how it works. Like, I think we're still in a really good track to go to PGC. We still knew that getting 2nd was always mega hard. QM was unbeatable this tournament.
Yeah, I don't know what they were eating, but holy
Well,
shit.
TWIS won, so they weren't unbeatable.
Dude, did you know that Phil
Yeah,
first crashed the
but
last game, by the way?
Huh?
Did you know that Phil first crashed the last game, by the way?
No.
When it was him and Aduzi alive, Aduzi team killed, they would have won probably if Phil first didn't crash.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching at that point anymore. I was kill feed
I
tracking
also
until I
told-
knew we were 7th, and then I stopped.
I also told Gustav when they were running down on Gustav that the QM fight didn't matter. Sarvem's in this dip, go nade them.
Mm-hmm.
And Gustav drove and died to Sarvem instead of dying to QM. That could have also been like the 1 point
The
they
1
needed.
point.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I think I also got killed by Yasnaya when they pushed us instead of getting killed by them. So like they basically won.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy that they went for that dip last game. I
Sarvem?
never see teams like I never see teams like win from that dip, and they just it's like it's like watching Howl back. I feel like when I
Yeah.
watched Sarvem, I mean, I didn't really watch Twire that much, to be honest, because I didn't really bother. But I feel like when I watch some of the things back, I feel like it kind of was like a Howl 2.0 situation. You know what I mean?
100%. They play,
But
they play like Howl, but they just have better spots to play the Howl playstyle.
And they
get to the center
Sarvem.
faster.
Sarvem is mechanically, they are definitely the strongest Turkish team fighting wise. They are a really strong team fighting wise. I kind of respect it. Like,
Chila is cracked at least. I don't know much about the other players because I haven't watched them, but
I mean, they definitely have some synergy going with their fights. I always see them play together as well, that team. And I mean, they
Global Army is really cracked too. I think overall they're cracked. I don't think their gameplay is that good.
Dude,
I think they're gonna get destroyed at PGS2. Baron peak.
Dude, Baron had the most insane shot. It was on stream, and the caster didn't even see it, bro.
They were sleeping through it, bro.
Bro, listen. It was the TWIS game where it was west of Hosan, where they were in, we call it Castle or something, right? I got shot pretty much. I got pre-shot through two smokes or something. I went out of the car and he just bolted me straight through a smoke headshot or something. Like, you could kind of like see it on stream or something. It was insane, and the casters, no one noticed it.
Yeah.
It was an insane shot. Like, it was a pre-fire or something with a bolt. And I went out of the car, I swapped sides or something, and it came straight in my head through two smokes or something. Like, I don't know what the fuck that was, man.
Yeah, that's
I was
crazy.
so tilted after that.
But yeah. I don't know. That people were like coming to me after day 1, and they were like, "Holy shit, Sarvem is so good," and they had, I think, 33 points or something, and they got 28 points out of that game or something. It was something like that. It wasn't exactly like that. They had like, maybe they had 45 and they got 30 out of that one game or something, and I was like, "There's no way they're gonna get this lucky the next few days." But they played some really solid PUBG in the like in between the games where they got gifted as well. So
yeah, they got like
they had a good tournament.
I mean, they definitely know how to play from Pochinki Picado as well with their playstyle. Like, they are using Pochinki Picado and I guess Hosan to their advantage, compared to like Entropic tried it then as well. You know what I mean? They had Pochinki Picado or something, or they split it. I don't know, but like SRM definitely like they kind of like mastered it, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe next tournament they're gonna be like it's hard to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find it crazy that when SRM has a good tournament like this, like both they played good, they had good circles, they have a good loot spot, they're still almost 40 points away from TWIS.
Mm-hmm.
That is nuts.
I mean, Twist is just like
TWIS
when
is
you.
back, baby.
I mean, some of the games too, like hard games, they just put it off. Like they have some.
I feel okay. This sounds weird, but I feel like just when we play a good game, like sometimes we play a game where we have like no rights to get this many points, but we play really well and we pull it off. They do that 3 times as much as we do.
Yeah.
Like, they just play so many games where you're like, how the fuck did they manage that? They do it so consistently. Like a lot of other teams in the lobby, like you look at, I think QM this tournament was sick too, but they're usually not sick at all. We'll see how they continue doing. Like FaZe, Foot, you know, that's like solid good PUBG, but most of the time it's not like crazy PUBG. But TWIS,
it's not enough
TWIS,
for a win.
Yeah, and TWIS a lot of the times it's just like they're so good. And it's like, I don't know. It's not. For me, it's kind of nice to see them back. Like, you know, it'd be nice if we were better than them or something. But it's nice to see them back and like consistent as they were before.
I think their chances of winning like PGS2 or PGC this year is higher than ever, just because there's so many roster changes in China now as well. Navi's not playing that well.
Yeah.
I don't see like if we don't beat them, FaZe Clan, because we are improving fast, then no one's gonna beat them. Literally.
I think 4AM could. I think 4AM are like on a honeymoon right now.
4AM is good, and I think they will always be good with CPN and HSM as the core of that team.
Who's their main roster right now? Are they still with what is that caller called? Summer?
No. So they picked up Cipian and HSM from New Happy, and then it's Crazy and Shaolu. The other two.
Holy fuck.
They can be a good team.
They look
what
good,
happened with New Happy with Ming Ming and stuff?
They picked up CC 108 and December 12th, like Deck 12.
December 12th.
They
or
looked
something,
really, really garbage in China until the last day, where they made a good comeback on God 7th. They were like 15th or something in the China qualifier, and then they came back, but they didn't come back enough to make PGS2.
I thought real fast coming back to EU. I thought that Entropic was. Entropic has definitely been like going up lately. You know what I mean? Like they seem to figure it out. I expected more from them this tournament. I think they also started off really strong. And then they just, I don't know what happened the last 2 days. They just really fell down. Like,
we thought.
The only thing,
you go.
The only thing I've heard, like I talked a little bit with Mexi, or I didn't really talk with him. He just said that they got fed this tournament and didn't play good or something. Didn't close out the games.
Okay.
Something like that.
I thought they looked solid on the first day, and I thought we would play against QM, Foot, and Entropic for the spots. Because I thought there's no way Savim continues to get gifted like this, and nobody else in the lobby looks like they would be playing for these spots. And then they kind of fell off on the second day. Savim and QM kept popping off, and we were like, okay, those are the 2 teams that we like have to beat. But I thought they looked a million times better with Mexi than they did before him. I still think.
Yeah, I mean they played the rotation. They got top 4, no?
They played good in the rotation. I don't know what they ended up in.
I think they got top 4.
I just think they look solid now. They look like a solid team. They don't look like a fantastic, wild, crazy team, but they look solid. They got 5th in rotation.
Yeah, I mean they are.
Yeah,
they definitely improved. I don't know.
My perspective on like PUBG teams has changed so much when I started coaching. Because like I just said, right, rotation, we played fucking garbage. And we're 10 points behind Entropic. So like they can't have been that good, you know? Like it feels like I feel like I rate everyone lower now. Because you just see how many mistakes you're making, and then you see other teams that you beat or you were like super close to.
Yeah.
Definitely changes perspective quite a bit.
Okay.
Also, by the way,
Shit.
fucking quick, 60-point lead in front of third for Twisted Minds and Foot in rotation again, right? Like TWIS has just
Yeah.
been looking nuts.
They know how to. They're reading the game good. A lot of the times as well, when you see them like outside the zone, you know what I mean? They are like, I don't know, they just pull it off every time or something.
I don't think there's many other teams that will contest TWIS in EU yet, because like there's only like Navi that's been together for a while now, and maybe you guys actually, and Acend, been together for a while. I feel like every other team that's supposed to be strong on paper needs more time before they can beat TWIS.
Yeah, I can see
really,
that.
really need time in this game.
It's crazy because it seemed like Twisted was like maybe, what was it, the first tournament this year? There was a moment real fast where they went down, right? And it was like, maybe they're gonna do roster change, maybe they're gonna change something, they need something new or something, and then boom, there they go again.
Was
know?
that you, Ibi, at the start of the year?
Yeah, it was me.
Where you said, if they don't do well this year, they're making a roster change.
For sure, but like now they just like, they picked it back up. It was after that first tournament of this year or something. I don't even know what they got. I don't know the reason to that I said it, but like, whew.
Yeah.
Maybe they just, I mean, I definitely know they haven't been playing as much earlier in the year. So maybe it's just all been a scheme to like a plan or whatever to start grinding towards the end of the year more and more. So they're ready for PGC, you know?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because I mean, like TWIS could literally like stop playing PUBG right now and still qualify to every event.
Yeah.
Like they could just
I
get
mean,
a
they're
job
already
or
in.
start playing professional CS.
Yeah.
And still be the best team in EU.
They're already in PGC.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. I think they really, really, really want to win as well. They need that one win. I don't think they have they want that one big win. That PGC win. And they haven't had that.
They deserved the last PGC, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah.
Even though they, for the last day or something, they did some things that they probably regret doing, and like they had some bad plays. But like they are the team that deserves to win.
Bro, I feel like
they deserve
showed
it over Navi, 100%. Like they deserved last year over Navi, in my opinion, 100%.
Yeah, but when example pulls up, he pulls up. You know, it happens sometimes.
And when he puts low sense, he doesn't pull up. He's back to high sense now. I saw him playing low sense during this event, and I think he underperformed, at least like for him, you know. 20 kills, for example, he always like pops off
30 or something.
Ubas almost 30.
Yeah.
They came back hard though.
It's so crazy how quick you can do that. They were like 14th or something, right?
Yeah, they reset the last 2 days.
And then they play 3 good games and they're 7th, and then they keep playing well and they're like 5th or something. It's crazy. Like,
wait, I remember Jim saying in the past that Virtus Pro is nothing special.
When did you say that?
Probably in the past when they weren't anything special, like earlier this year or something.
I feel like, I mean, earlier this year, people would have said like, Twisted Minds is not what they usually are or something, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
The thing is for me that the only thing I see when I watch us play and I see TWIS winning is how close we were to winning.
Yeah.
But the reason why they're good is obviously because they're consistent.
Yeah.
Like they're just always at the top.
Yeah. The thing is, they play a really, really bad tournament and they get 5th or something, you know? Like they played really shit in PCS 7 too for the first, like, I think the first 3 out of 4 days, and they just pull up on the last day and they end up 5th or something. And they keep doing that all the time. And I don't know. I think they're also, when a team like SRM has a good tournament, you know they had a good tournament, but you know they're not very likely to recreate that. But Virtus Pro just keeps doing it and keeps doing it and keeps doing it.
What did they get at PGS 1?
They pulled up at the end as well and got like, I think 5th? 6th? 5th, I think. Right? Like,
what happened with FaZe, Jimbo? Let's go over it. Like let's go to that at PGS 1.
PGS 2, right?
PGS 1.
PGS 1.
I think he's what he's trying to
ask. PGS 1. Yeah. Did I say PGS 2?
No, you said PGS 1. PGS 1, I mean, you mean in Malaysia, right? Not the qualifier?
What did you guys get in the qualifier?
8th.
What did we get?
I think you got 8th.
Okay. I don't
yeah,
even remember the qualifier. But I mean, there was definitely a lot of different issues at PGS 1.
No, you got 5th. Sorry, Twisted Mind got 8th. I mixed you up.
Yeah.
In PEC
We had a
spring.
lot of different issues at PGS 1. I mean, I can start off by saying that Gustav had a really bad tournament. And when the in-game leader is having a bad tournament, and you have someone like me on the team,
Mhm.
I am very easy to take over if I see him like doing bad. So like he was struggling, and I was like being I don't know, I don't have patience in me if I see him struggling, for example. I just took over a lot. But because it's like he was the in-game leader back then, and then I take over, it's just a bad dynamic when it's like that. I don't see you guys anymore, by the way, Kovo.
Yeah, I know. I'm fixing the scene for later.
Okay. So there was that, right? And then we were just like not getting into good positions at all.
Mm-hmm.
A lot in the blue zone, like Kovo always memes are used to meme about us being stuck in the blue zone, healing in the blue. There was a lot of blue healing that tournament.
Yeah.
In the end, though, we were only like, what was it, like 5 points from qualifying to the finals or something.
Yeah.
All came down to the last game. And if we qualified, who knows? Like, it could have been completely different. Maybe if we just made it to the finals, that could have been just enough for Gustav to finally like reset.
Yeah.
You know, we have everyone has 0 points. We go again.
Yeah.
But
it didn't
yeah,
happen.
like there was a lot of different issues like that. But I think that was like one of the main reasons. I guess it could probably have gone better if I knew how to just be quiet when he's having a hard time.
Yeah.
But I just can't. Like I can't.
Shut your like be quiet.
Yeah, I can't stop myself. You know.
It's hard. I understand.
It's really
that,
hard.
kind of.
But like now, I think we have a great
balance.
We have a great dynamic in the team with the in-game leading. I think because it's so fluent and simple for me now on this team. Like now that I've been in-game leading for a while on this team, we're starting to get like some of our circles, our strats and everything down. And I've made it clear now after rotation to the team what circles I want to have take control and like the structure I want. Like I want to have like the early game, like circle 1, 2, 3, pretty much. And then after that, I have Corexi and Gustav. Especially Gustav is really good at making calls in the mid and the late game. And Corexi also finds so many openers. And Fex even also does that. It's just like it's so simple, it's so easy. It
just works.
It feels, bro. There's just it's so smooth. There can be so many games where all I do is just like call like circle 1, 2, 3. And I can really feel how Gustav is able to be a better like co-IGL than I was. He listens to what I say, he asks me what I want to do, and make sure that we're doing what I want to do. And then once we get through like circle 1, 2, and 3, everything just like flows. It's just really simple. Like so many games, I don't even have to do anything after that. I can just play the game as well.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's good.
If you can actually focus on playing, that's nice.
Yeah. We had a really good chance to win this PGS2 quals. We improved so quick after the rotation. We had some bad games in the rotation. We saw some like reoccurring problems in the rotation. Kind of like problem solve those a little bit. And seems that we have like made some like big steps. And right now, what went wrong in PGS2 was the last day was bad. Not necessarily bad, but a few of the games were bad. I think we got like 30 points or something that day. But mainly, what I think we need to do better is, and what the whole team thinks we need to do better is just to close out some more games. We had 2 games that were pretty much thrown that would have granted us like at least 20 more points. And that's crazy how like we lost 8 points getting second place to Acend. We had a 3rd or 4th place on Melee Island with 15 kills. That could have been a win with like 25 kills.
Is there miscoms there, or is it just people are not valuing their life as much? Because that's where Twisted Minds, like, to come in real fast, I feel like that's where Twisted Minds, like, their players are very good at like staying alive, you know what I mean? And like,
I don't think it's miscoms. We just need to slow down more in the late game. We have this like,
okay,
I think we have this like good, pretty like, I'm pretty strict in phase 1, 2, and 3 most of the time. And then the game is very like loose after phase 3. Everyone kind of does what they want and it's working really great. And I think once we get to like phase 6 and 7 again, we just need to like literally hold each other back a little bit more.
just reset a bit.
Yeah, give each other a little bit more time so that once we're doing something, it gets done a little bit more together.
Yeah.
Because I think if we won these 2 games that we threw on day 1 and 2, we would have had like, I think like 25 more points. And then we're already only 20 points behind TWIS if we would have those 2 wins. And who knows, if we just won those games, how different the games would have gone.
Yeah.
The resetting is hard sometimes too.
Yeah.
Or
a
like
lot of the
slowing
points
down.
though, a lot of the points really come from the last phase, right? Of the game, like phase 7,
Yeah.
8, 9. It's crazy that we
yeah.
lost like around 25 points by having a 2nd place and a 3rd place.
It's how
That's
it
crazy.
goes, right? And it's why I like, we talked about this last time where we said like, you know, late game circles, hard shifting shouldn't be a thing. Because it can just cost you like a solid 5 placement points and 8 kill points or something, right? Just having that one hard shift against
Circle 7, right? Did we talk about that? Circle 7?
I mean, circles have changed a lot, but we talked about it. Like, it shouldn't. Like 7 and 8 can really just still fuck you over completely. And we had like, I don't know. Sometimes you lose a fight that you shouldn't lose, right? Like, there's not that much you can. Maybe there's not that much you can do about it. I feel like you, for example, the Acend game was a good example. We had no right to win that, but I don't know if you guys threw that much.
We definitely did.
Yeah.
You want to know what happened?
Tell me.
We thought Foot when
I
I
saw
was
it on the
ridge,
stream after. Somebody
Yeah.
thought Foot was still alive.
When I was on your ridge and I like shot 2 guys low and knock 1, and they knock 1, and suddenly it's Braxco 1v2.
Yeah.
We thought
Fex
Foot was
thought
alive.
Foot was alive.
Yeah, they both thought Foot was alive. So we are looking that way instead of just looking at 1 HP Braxco or whatever it was like.
He didn't heal the whole fight, by the way.
Yeah, and if we didn't think Foot was alive, one guy would already have been under Braxco.
Yeah.
With the other guy watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True, I forgot about that.
Braxco would have been kaput.
Kaput. Yeah.
That's 8 points. We didn't get a single kill from the 4v4 because of that. 3 knocks.
Yeah. You stole
That's
one of our
crazy.
Foot kills. That's the only guy we didn't kill in the 4v4v3. The only guy we didn't kill is Corexy stole him from us. I was like, God damn, bro. That was pretty cracked. That was part 1 of episode 10. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't. We're going to make sure to announce this more properly the next time we do it live. It's a chill way to do things. We'll see if we stick to it or not, but I'll make sure that the recordings are always on the same platforms that you're used to. If you don't want to miss the live ones, you will have to follow my Twitch channel. And Twitter is also always a good idea. I announce basically everything I do on Twitter. Or maybe I guess you call it X now. And yeah, links for everything will be in the description. And if you want to support the podcast, liking it, leaving a review, subscribing to the YouTube channel, all that kind of stuff is absolutely free, helps out a ton. And I'll see you guys in part 2.